Why are so many Liverpool fans online today triggered by what Bruno Fernandes said? Why are they so angry? Why are they so frustrated? Let's take a little listen.
Yeah, we know that means a lot for us. Obviously, it's about getting our goals, completion. So we did. Obviously, we know that they'd be happy also for Liverpool to not be there. But for us, it's not about that. It's getting the best we can for ourselves, because we have to look at ourselves.
Bruno Fernandes, they're talking about qualifying for the Champions League. He was asked a direct question by the Sky Sports presenter. How do you think, I'm paraphrasing here, but how do you think the Man United fans will feel with Liverpool missing out? And his response was very clear. I'm sure Man United fans are happy that Liverpool are not in the Champions League, but we have to focus upon ourselves. A very fair and respectful answer to all parties. But all hell's broken loose today. All hell was broken loose today. Memes, attacks. I'm seeing his face superimposed on rap pictures and all types of stuff. It's crazy to me, legitimately crazy to me, the fallout of being asked a very direct question. The notion that Bruno Fernandes has Liverpool living rent-free in his head. He wasn't thinking about Liverpool until the Sky Sports presenter brought it up. And he didn't even say, how do you feel about Liverpool missing out? He stated, how do you think Man United fans will feel? He was asked a question and he almost dismissed it. Just, yeah, I'm sure Man United fans will love it. But we're focusing on ourselves. He then goes on to say that we're happy we've made it, but this isn't enough and we need to do more as a football club, i.e. win big trophies. Why the outrage? I know this snippet here from Football Daily is 22 seconds, but don't people do research anymore to the questions that were asked? Don't they look at the wider picture? Don't they watch the whole piece of content? Maybe not for me, but I can't believe that Bruno Fernandes has legitimately the entire Liverpool fan base this morning on absolute strings for supposedly laughing at them. He didn't even do it. He didn't even do it.
To That's Football. What's next for Liverpool?
Goldbridge here talking about Liverpool. Really interesting points he brings up. Take a little listen.
And could they be the new Arsenal of this era? They've had a fantastic few years, but now are they about to end up in the wilderness and step away from the big prizes? Remember,
do you think that's, any of you think that's plausible? Before we hear what Goldbridge says, do you think that's plausible? Are Liverpool is their era over? Are they about to fall away from competing at the highest level again?
the Arsenal Invincible team, it was only a couple of years before they were disappearing for 20 years as a credible team in title challengers. Liverpool fans are going to go mad about that, but look, ultimately we're here to discuss what next.
So what do you all think? Genuinely, what do you all believe? What's next for Liverpool? I've seen a lot of people talk about Liverpool in the last few weeks, last few days, and sort of along the lines as Mark has mentioned, they could fall off. What do you think? For me personally, I don't believe they will. I believe right now it's premature. I think it's wrong to suggest that Liverpool are just going to fall by the wayside. The only way this happens is if FSG do not invest the right amounts of money. That's it. That is it. Let's listen to a little bit more what Mark said later on in the video here.
I'm very happy that we're in the Champions League. For Liverpool, I think Liverpool have shown this season that it's a bad season. But I think they've shown in the last 2 months that with Manchester City, they are capable. And I think the impressive thing about Liverpool in the last couple of months is doing it at this time of the year. Like the ability to win from, I mean, Man City can do it from February to May, but like Liverpool have done it pretty much from April to May. And I knew that was going to come. It just came too late. Them and Man City, Klopp and Pep, are the only two clubs at the moment who can go on this consistent winning streak. I mean, some teams can do an unbeaten streak, but a consistent winning streak. And what Klopp and Liverpool have to do is they have to bottle what they've ended the season with. And I'm sorry to use the word bottle, but I mean, like, they've got to bottle that positivity and ability and take it straight away into the season, because you've got...
Again, Goldbridge beyond spot on here in everything that he has just said. Taking the positives out this end, Trent being moved into the middle, what they've got out of Curtis Jones, There'll be other tweaks maybe that he's made that are not so noticeable, maybe a little bit more subtle that they'll know about internally. But it's the window, the window, the window, the window, the window. They have to invest. And a lot of Liverpool fans that I follow that come on the terrace have called out their ownership many, many times in the past 12 to 18 months. Generally, it's met by a ferocious outcry from Liverpool fans stating, you're not a real red, you're a wall, you shouldn't be talking about our business in public. How dare you criticize FSG or Klopp? But it needs to happen. Standards must be maintained, and fans, for me, are the biggest and strongest people out there involved in a football club. They have the ability to do that. So I disagree with the title of Mark's video, which is very much, is this Liverpool coming to an end of an era? He's asking a question. I disagree with the question. I don't think that Liverpool at the end of an era yet. They can maintain what they're doing. But it honestly comes down to the investment into the team, like with everybody else. They need better players and more of them, in my view. What do you all think? Let me know below. Up next, I want to take a little listen here to Rory Jennings. And he's asking a question on his channel. And I wanted to bring it to you all. Again, I could just plagiarize and do a video of my own that looks the same as theirs. But I'd rather not take away from the originators, show you what they say, discuss it, and then give you the opportunity to have your response. But Rory Jennings here stating, a Man City ruining football. That's the question for you. A Man City ruining football.
So I'm pretty sure that you know this, right? But Manchester City have won 3 league titles in a row. Yeah, you know, everybody knows. But what you may not know is that not only have Manchester City's first team won 3 titles in a row, but their under-21s have won 3 titles in a row. Their under-18s have won 3 titles in a row. Now, look.
How significant do you think that is? How significant is that volume of victory, in your opinion, to money? Or is that more about the money and how well run they are? And are they ruining football? Because they're dominating right now. In the men's game, they are categorically dominating. From under-18s, elite development squads, the reserves, under-21s, whatever you want to call them, and first-team football in England, they are by far and away the best at every single level. There's no doubt. Pep Guardiola, this guy isn't a manager who is compared to Jose's anymore, compared to Klopp's anymore. He's being put in conversations with the Fergusons, with the Cruyffs, with the greatest managers of all time, not the best managers of his era. That can't be something that's labeled against City in terms of ruining football. If you're great, you're great. But what of the financial allegations? And Rory goes on to talk about this a little bit later on in this video. And the reason I think it's significant is I want you to hear what he's got to say, and then I want to get your personal opinions on this. Take a little listen.
They've said that they are engaging and whatever. But look, let's face it. It's a lot of charges, isn't it? It's an awful lot of charges. And certain things just don't make sense. Certain things are so odd with regard to Manchester City. No Man City fan would ever tell you that City are a bigger brand than Arsenal, Liverpool or Chelsea. They're just not. You know, they're incomparable particularly to Liverpool and Arsenal, right? Chelsea are in a different league by a mile to them as well, right? Particularly when you're talking about branding. And yet, Manchester...
I have to state just very quickly, that is all true what Rory has said. No doubt about it, without a shadow of a doubt. Those clubs are bigger and have, as in fan bases. Forget what you're winning. Fan bases, gargantuan in comparison.
Manchester City managed to earn 1.7 billion in commercial income in the 10 years between 2010 and 2020. So they earned 1.7 billion quid in 10 years. 1.7 billion quid in 10 years. Liverpool, Chelsea and Arsenal, on average, 1.1. So a club like Liverpool, a club like Chelsea, a club like Arsenal.
That's £600 million difference in 10 years. And when you think of 2010 to 2020, for large parts of that, Chelsea and Liverpool were winning major trophies as well. Chelsea were winning league titles, Champions Leagues. In fact, they won 2 Champions Leagues in that period. One. They won one after 2020. Sorry, my brain just went dead for a minute. But interesting.
We're earning 1.1 billion. Manchester City, 2010 to 2020, 1.7. It doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. Because the brand of Chelsea, you've got to remember, in that period, Chelsea were, European Cup winners. In that period, Liverpool were European Cup winners. It just doesn't quite add up. And look, this investigation, it's significant. It's significant to the Premier League. It feels very odd that you've got Richard Masters handing silverware out to Manchester City whilst his organisation have them under investigation.
And that is true. And I'm sticking to my guns here. I'm not gonna. I've done videos on the allegations. I've put out content that shows they may have cheated. We've done some videos that show City defending themselves. We're trying to be as impartial as possible. It's a great point raised there by Rory. You've got the Premier League handing over silverware to a team that they believe has been financially doping for over a decade. At the same time, they're dominating every level of English football. So I do understand why fans will sit there and say they're ruining football, because some fans believe they're cheating based on what Rory has brought together. And I want to go to what Pep said the other day. City want the investigation or the hearing with the QCs done soon. And I think that's right. This cannot drag on for years and years and years. They need to bring this forward, because it isn't fair on rivals of City, if City are cheating, to continue to compete against them. Because you might find next year another team comes second to them. But maybe if City get found guilty of what they've done, are they going to award the team that comes second the Premier League? Probably not. But it means that nobody's going to win the Prem. And if they're cheating, then somebody else does deserve to win it. Equally, if they're innocent, it isn't fair on City being accused of ruining English football if they're not doing anything wrong. If they've just got better business minds than our clubs, they're bringing in genuine real income, and they've built the best infrastructure and got the best manager in the world, and they're creating a dynasty, a genuine dynasty. That deserves praise from top to bottom, inside out. Use them as an example. This is on the Premier League. And City fans may have already commented and left this video by the time they get to the point. That's why you shouldn't make comments until the end of videos, in my opinion. But are they ruining football only if they're cheating? If they're not and they're behaving in the right way, it's not ruining football. It's showing everybody the groundwork that's needed to become a great football team. And we should be using them as an example. But look, I want your thoughts and I want your feelings below. Remember, we've still got the raffle running until 7:30 tonight to win 2 tickets plus £250 to the FA Cup final. Until next time, everybody, take care of yourselves. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again very, very soon. Thank you.